Get started. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. It is that time for our midweek stretch break. So, as always, if you have something you want to focus on or that's giving you trouble, please drop it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get good mixture of things going, lots of hips, lots of back, uh, lots of quads, calves, all the stuff that gets tight as we're sitting all day. So I'll give us just a second to drop those in the chat box if you want to focus on something. Hips, we'll definitely do some hips. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And then we're going to start in standing and we're going to make our way down to the floor. So starting up and standing, we're going to start with a little side stretch first. So feet nice and wide. We usually end with this one, but we're starting with it today. Reach up toward the ceiling. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Biceps are by your ears. Keep your weight in your left foot as you bend to the right. Go ahead and let that left hip come out to the side. Keep those abs nice and tight so you don't dump all the work into your low back. And let's come back to center and switch your grip and reach up as high as you can once again. And then we're going to come to the other side. So let that right hip come out to the right. Keep grounded in your right foot so we can get extra stretch through our side body. And let's go ahead and come back to center and release those arms. So we're going to take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to throw a yoga pose in here, just one, so bear with me. So we're going to turn our left foot out so that it's parallel with the rest of our mat. And we're going to make a straight line from our left heel to the arch of our right foot. Arms are going to come out to the side. And then from here, let that right hip come back. Left arm reaches forward towards the front of your mat. And then from here, we're just going to drop it straight down. So right arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Left arm can reach down toward the ground, or you can rest it on your shin, ankle, foot, floor, or maybe even your thigh. Gaze is up towards the ceiling if that feels good. And if you want a little bit more of a shoulder and a chest opener, we're going to drop that top arm and reach for the crease of our left hip. Completely optional, but it might feel really good after all the push-ups we did in Luis's class today. And after the Ys as well. All right, and if you drop that arm behind you, go ahead and reach up toward the ceiling. And let's go back the way we came. So reaching up and coming back to center. Nicely done. Okay, go ahead and switch your feet. So this time, left foot is pointing straight ahead. Right toes are pointing toward the side of the mat. And this, scoot over so I don't hit my door. And this time, left hip comes out to the side. We reach forward and go ahead and drop straight down to the ground. Lots of active reach from fingertip to fingertip, resting right hand on foot or floor or shin, or if you want some extra core strength, you can also float those fingers off the ground. And then for an optional chest stretch, we're going to drop that left hand behind our back and reach for our right hip crease. Breathing into all the tight spots, noticing what feels tight from side to side. It's probably a little bit different. And go ahead and bring that left arm back up toward the ceiling if it's not already there. And let's go back the way we came and release those arms. Let's come down to the ground next. We're going to start in our shin box position. shin box, mermaid, lots of things that we call it here, and just take a moment to settle in. So we're finding those 90-degree angles. Might be a little bit different from person to person, but we want 90 degrees back leg, 90 degrees between knee and hip with the front leg. And you can be on either side that you want right now. And right now we're just breathing and settling into it, finding what feels good. This might not feel good. That's okay. We're getting used to it. All right. And from here, whichever foot is in forward, so I have my right knee forward. So if your right knee is forward, right hand is coming down on the ground. If your left knee is forward, left hand is coming down on the ground. We're going to take that opposite hand and we're going to thread the needle, reaching between that gap between our arm and our hip, exhaling as we twist, and inhaling as we come back to center. Make sure that back knee is staying on the ground. Let's go ahead and do that 2 more times. So inhaling to prepare, exhaling as we twist and reach, and inhaling back to center, and exhaling, twist and reach, and inhaling back to center. Nicely done. Okay, so we're kind of staying here. So do the best you can with this one. You can have hands on the ground. You can make genie arms right in front of you. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to open up one leg, and then we're going to switch positions with our shin box. So this time the opposite leg is going to be forward, and then we're going to come back the way we came. So we're back in our starting position. So go ahead and do that a couple times, just noticing how you're moving, and you might find that you're moving a lot on your mat, running into your furniture and things like that, and that's okay. Just go ahead and reset yourself when you need to. We're just moving our hips right now in directions we don't usually move in throughout the day. And it might feel pretty uncomfortable, and that's okay. Breathe through it, work through it. It's good to do things that you're not used to doing and getting out of your comfort zone just a little bit. All right, and for this last one, you're going to make sure that you end on the side that you did not start on. So I'm going to flip around so you can see me. So last time when we were in the shin box position, my right foot was forward, now my left foot is forward. So we're going to plant our hand on the ground and we're going to thread the needle on this side. So taking that opposite arm, inhale to prepare, exhale, reach the arms through, and twist. Follow that breath. Inhaling back to center as we relax. Exhaling, twist it through. And back to center as you inhale. One more, everyone. Exhale, thread that needle. And inhale, back to center. Good stuff. All right. Go ahead and untangle your legs. We're going to come down, not onto our back. We're actually going to come onto our hands and knees. So we don't do pigeon pose. I know I only said one yoga pose for today, but we're doing 2. We're going to do some pigeon pose today because it's not something we usually do. So if you know pigeon pose, feel free to get into it. For those of you who are unfamiliar, we're going to plant our hands on the ground. We're going to bring one foot back and then the other. So we're in a plank position. Starting with our right leg, we're just going to bring it up a little bit, and then we're going to bring that leg forward so that our right knee is in line with our right wrist. And depending on your flexibility, your shin might or might not be parallel with the top of the mat. Go ahead and slide that left hip back so your hips are even. And maybe this is it. Maybe that's enough of a stretch in that right hip. As you breathe into it and get more comfortable with it, maybe you start to come down onto your forearms. Maybe you stack your hands and rest your forehead. find what feels comfortable and just breathe. We're going to be here for just a couple breaths. Go ahead and take one more breath. Full inhale, full exhale. And then when you're ready, go ahead and slowly make your way back up to your hands. Slide, maybe tuck your left toes under, slide that right foot back, and we're going to go to the other side. So left leg comes up this time. Bring the left knee forward so it's in line with your left wrist. And maybe you stay up in this position on your hands. Or as you sink into it and relax into it, you can come down on forearms or forehead on palms. Once again, breathe into those tight spots. Breathe into that left hip. And let's take one more full inhale and full exhale. And slowly make your way out of that stretch, bringing your hands onto the ground, tucking your right toes under, bringing your left foot back to meet your right foot. And we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. As soon as you can't go any further back without bending your knees, go ahead and bend the knees a lot and roll up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Head, neck, and shoulders are the last thing to roll up. All right, everyone, that is all we have time for today. Hopefully you're feeling nice, a little more mobile. Not super mobile, but a little bit more mobile than before our stretch break. So tomorrow is Thursday. We've got exercise with Exos as usual, morning and afternoon stretch breaks. You know the drill. Check our SharePoint site for all the links and get those calendar invites so that you don't miss them. Put it on your calendar. All right, we'll see you all later. Have a good rest of your Veterans Day.